All right, hello and welcome to another podcast. My name is Rhys McClanagan. I'm an Olympic gymnast for Team Ireland, and today is a little bit of a special podcast for me because during this week we have been in the Senior Irish training camp, and this is the first ever time that we've all kind of been together as a squad training because of COVID and stuff. You know, it's literally been a couple of years since we've had a senior squad training camp, so there's new members to the team. There's some young gymnasts that have come up and turned senior that are very promising in the Irish scene, and I wanted to introduce you guys to them. So you know, there's a group of 5 of us here in the camp. There's also one more person who is at uni that had to miss out on this camp, but yeah, we'll be missing him today and this week. But the camp has went well so far. We've been showing off. We've been showing each other what we've been working on throughout these couple of years without competition. The guys had recently returned from Northern Europeans, which they'd done incredibly well at. Probably the most successful Northern Europeans that's Ireland has ever done, really. We had rings champion Daniel Fox, we had floor silver medalist Michael O'Neill, and Ewan McAteer won the vault. So it's just incredible to see, you know, new names coming into the Irish gymnastics scene, and it's something that gets me very excited, gets me very motivated, and hopefully inspires that younger generation to come up and then beat our achievements that we've got in our careers. So it just seems like there's a pattern of emerging gymnasts coming from Ireland, which is very exciting. It's very exciting for me to see, and for us, the senior squad, currently we're kind of at the forefront of these boundaries that are being pushed, and we're continuing to push the boundaries. And I think that's really needed in a sport where the country doesn't have too many gymnasts. It's very important to have those people that push the boundaries, set the standard at a new level. Because of course, if you take, you know, the American women's team, for example, think about the amount of young gymnasts that they've inspired by pushing that standard so high, that, you know, the younger gymnasts are almost having to meet that standard to then be put on the team. And it just seems like an ever increasing standard that's happening in the world of gymnastics as well. It's an evolving sport, so we need to adapt to that, and hopefully our younger generation in the future will do that. But what I'm gonna do is, I just said to them, they're all chilling in the living room here watching Superbad just after our training session today, and I just said that I would call them in individually, just introduce them to you guys, and you can get a little bit of an idea about what their strengths are in the sport, what apparatus they do, some of their achievements, some of their goals for the future, and allow you to get to know them a little bit better and see what you can look forward to seeing from the senior Irish gymnasts this year and this Olympic cycle. Really, we might be getting introduced to some future Olympians here for the Paris 2024 Olympics, for the for the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics as well. All of us seem to be having those Olympic Games in our sights, and all of the competitions in between that as well, the European Championships, the World Championships. It's all on the cards, and I feel like this is one of those few times that I've been able to work with a team of gymnasts as a team. It's always been like an individual journey for myself, and it's been challenging at the same time having that individual journey, but then I've learned a lot from that. But on the flip side of that coin, I can learn a lot from being with a team, and I can see, even training with these guys this week, I can see the benefits of having that team atmosphere around you in the gym. You know, if you have a bad day, you know, there's teammates there to cheer you on, no matter what. So there's a lot of benefits coming from it for me, and I hope the other guys are getting benefits too from this training session this week. But anyway, I will call in the first gymnast. Who will it be? I think I'm going to call in Michael O'Neill. I think I'll call in Michael O'Neill first. Hello. Grab a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael O'Neill.
Hello.
So, what age are you?
I'm 21.
21, right.
Yeah.
So that's very young as a gymnast. And when did you transition into Irish gymnastics?
So I first competed at the Irish Championships in 2018 as a junior, and I won it. That was my first competition in Ireland.
Yeah, so you initially started as a junior for Ireland, and then how did you find the transition from junior gymnastics into senior gymnastics? For me, that was probably one of the toughest things I had to do in the sport.
Definitely. My first senior competition because of COVID was British Championships on a big stage in a big arena.
Yeah.
And I went around with Max Whitlock in my group, so big starstruck moment. It was a difficult competition to say the least, but since then we've progressed, we've got better.
Yeah.
So it's getting better.
For sure, because I remember competing with you in 2019 at the National Championships, and that was your first senior competition, was it, or one of your first anyway? And it was cool. It was my first time competing alongside you, getting to know you, and I feel like this week during the training camp, I'm still getting to know you a little bit. Like
definitely.
we haven't trained together properly, we haven't. So it's cool training alongside you. And what like benefits have you got from training this week with the squad members?
So this week's been good because at my gym back in home, we've got 3 seniors, all of us good level, but having a full group of people that I know I'm going to be with, competing with, training with for a long time, hopefully. Yeah. It's just good to get to know everyone, get to know what everyone's good at, improvements that we need to make, and we can get better as a team. Yeah,
for sure. And it feels like that team atmosphere as well. Like I'm not used to that either. I'm obviously just used to training by myself, but it's cool. Like even on a bad day, the team is still cheering you on, like giving you something. Yeah, for sure. It's an exciting time. And what competitions have you got your eyes set on this year?
I definitely want to go to the World Cups, a couple of the World Cups this year. I'm not too sure which ones yet, but Doha soon coming up. I would like to go there, compete floor. Yeah. And obviously Europeans in August. That's the main goal this year.
Yeah. And for the World Cups, it's a bit of a funny one, isn't it? Because I think there's 4 of us that are wanting to compete on floor at these World Cups. So there's a 2 per country rule on each apparatus. So only 2 of us from Ireland can go and compete on floor. So currently we're kind of like battling it out at the minute, aren't we? We're trying to get those top 2 spots and trying to establish who's going to be the best man for the job. Of course we're all going to continue to be teammates, but at the same time there's that little bit of rivalry, but it's a positive thing, isn't it?
Yeah, whoever goes will deserve to go. We're all exceptional at floor.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we're all pushing each other for sure in training, and that's the positive thing about training with a team is, it's not like there's one person that's just so far ahead of everyone that you don't even pay attention to it. We're all kind of at a similar level, especially on floor, I feel, and that really pushes me, and I'm sure it pushes the other guys as well. But definitely, it's an exciting one for sure. So it'll be interesting seeing who gets those 2 spots, right? Definitely, it makes it a little bit exciting. But so your kind of goals for this year, the World Cups and Europeans, getting selected, because you haven't really been to those major competitions yet, sure? You haven't?
Best one so far is Northern Europeans, which is a good competition.
Yeah, and tell everybody what you achieved at Northern Europeans.
Northern Euros, I qualified first on floor for the final with 14-3.
Huge score.
And then came second in the final, 14-2-5.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it shows that consistency as well. That's what I was so impressed with, that you put out that big score in qualifications and then replicated it in finals. It was a tough enough competition out there as well, wasn't it? Yeah, probably 100%. One of the toughest Northern Europeans I've seen. Yeah. But the fact that you've done 2 back-to-back routines, sticking most of your tumbles and stuff, that I think that's what really impressed me. And I was watching you guys closely throughout that competition, and everybody was just really consistent. I was so happy to see that kind of senior team coming together. I was like, yes, it's not just going to be like me and Adam going to these competitions next year. It's going to be all of us. And I'm super excited for next year for sure. Me too. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be that awesome team atmosphere. Hopefully we'll get like some team results as well in the future. Exactly. I'm excited, man. But anyway, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
And you'll be seeing much more of this guy in the future for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Fox.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast, Daniel.
Pleasure to be here.
So I was just kind of introducing everybody individually to, the viewers, and wanting them to understand who the members of Team Ireland were now.
Okay. Yeah.
So cool. I was just kind of saying how we're in the middle of our first ever senior squad training in years now.
For a long time,
Yeah.
Since like the last generation gone almost.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole new squad, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way. I mean, you would have been junior probably last time we had a big get together.
Exactly.
And I would have been my first as a senior.
Yeah.
Last time we did it, so there's been a big gap there because I went from like the youngest senior, and now I'm the
Oh,
oldest
you're
senior.
the oldest. You're the oldest.
Yeah, but
Nice.
anyway.
But I find your journey very interesting. So you were competing, of course,
Yep.
up until what year?
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
And then you stopped for a couple of years, stopped for 3 years.
Yeah. So pretty much 2 full years off, and then got back into it. Sort of, it would have been this time last year. I was toying with the idea of training again.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if I was going to compete. Wasn't sure what was going on. It was sort of right in the middle of the second long lockdown we'd had.
Yeah.
And everything was going on online, and basically I just saw that my club back home, Douglas Gymnastics, we're going to do some Zoom classes, and I was like, oh, that might be a bit of fun. So I logged on and got conditioning, and that's when I started kind of playing with the idea of, when the gym opens again, I'm going to head in.
Yeah.
Because I did almost have like a full 18-month to 2 year like gap where I just didn't even step foot into a gym. I think I'd been into Tolworth, which is my old gym in the UK, once. And it was a bit of fun and got to see everyone, but I never really thought about training again.
Yeah.
So that was kind of this time last year. And then when the gyms finally did open, because we had quite a long lockdown down the Republic of Ireland, it was like, it wasn't until about June, July the gym actually opened. Went in and I kind of said, I would like to train again. I was playing with the idea of Bundesliga.
Yeah.
And then that sort of naturally came into, right, well, I'm training, and if I'm at this standard now, and, Andy Smith, who's obviously a friend of ours,
Yes,
an ex-teammate, sort of said, why don't you do trials for North Euros and do stuff for Ireland? And my initial thought was, no.
Scary, isn't it?
Because I thought that chapter had closed.
Yeah.
And, I think it was just, I wasn't ready to be thrown back into the deep end of it. And then the more time I spent in the gym, the more it sort of occurred to me that was the natural progression. Like, if I'm going to do high level gymnastics, I want to do it for my country.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, if I can produce a standard of gymnastics that's going to hold up at international competition, I'm going to want to be at those international competitions.
Yeah.
And then it was really nice to see, like, obviously this is the first squad training of the year, but I think it's the first of many, because obviously we've got our calendar now, and things do seem to be really team orientated at the moment, which is really positive.
It's great, but it's such a daunting feeling, kind of coming back to that competition mindset, isn't it?
Definitely was. So I did North Euros back in November, and initially when I first started training again, I was like, I'm just going to do P-bar, rings, and maybe pommels.
Yeah.
And then obviously the trial process for Ireland was going to give sort of the main focus of things to all-rounders. I said, okay, well, I'll start training all-round. Started doing all-round, did the trial went fairly well, and then qualified obviously to go to the comp. And because I qualified under the all-round score, I had to do all-round at the competition.
Yeah,
and that was quite a scary one, because it had been pretty much 3 years since I'd done a full all-round comp. And I think the thought process in my head was, like, do I have the gymnastics to show, at this competition? Am I going to go out there and do myself justice?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than, like, a comeback story, and then you just go out there and you're not where you wanted to be.
I feel like you need to do it for yourself in that situation,
yeah, it
right?
definitely was that. I wasn't going to go out there. There was nothing left to prove, really, for me, apart from what I wanted to prove to myself. So I went out there, had a decent all-round competition, made some good scores, and had a really good rings routine as well, which is the main priority to go out there. And I wanted to prove that I could go and first of all compete all around and show a big rings routine. And then if I were to be in a final, that I remember going into that final thinking I'd qualified in first, and unless I'd finish in first in 24 hours time, I won't be happy.
Yeah.
Like, I had that bug.
Okay.
Like, you're thinking, like, I know I can do it, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, for sure. What score did you get in qualifications?
So 13.85 for qualifications, 13.8 for finals. So it was really similar routine.
Yeah.
Dismount was a little bit better on day 2 actually, but I think the judging was just that little bit more picky.
Yeah, for sure. It always is in finals, I think. Yeah. But I was saying to Michael there previously, like because I was watching you guys closely at Northern Euros, and the consistency really impressed me more than anything. More than like the big scores that you were posting, it was like Michael done 2 almost identical routines of sticking most of his landings. You done 2 huge ring scores. It was that consistency that really gave me belief in the team as a whole.
I really felt like that as a team competition was really a very important competition for everyone there, because we were able to sort of go out and support each other, and I think that's probably something you miss a little bit as well.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Because
it's what
you and Adam have been smashing it for the last couple of years, but it's still 2 people, and obviously that is a team when you are working together. But when there's more people, more voices to be heard in the background, you do just get that energy from the atmosphere.
Yeah, 100%.
And obviously competing through COVID the way you did would have been quite different and difficult in some ways, at least I assume.
It's something I'm taking benefits from this camp this year, or this week even, is just having that team atmosphere around me. It's something that I'm just not used to at all. I'm used to genuine silence after all of my goes every time in that empty gym that
That's
I'm in.
surprising with Luke being your coach.
There is random outbursts. It's not like correlated with me finishing the go. He just has random outbursts. But having like a group of guys just cheering you on during the go, after the go, it really, whatever chemical happens in your brain with people cheering you on, it really works.
Yeah, I love it, and I always think like, what would I want to hear when I'm having a go? And sometimes I come out with probably really silly stuff, like, believe you can do it. Like, what the
you hear some of the American guys, and this isn't a dig at any American gymnasts, by the way, but there's some really weird sayings like, come on, you got your wings, baby, you can fly.
I'm not quite at that level, but I definitely come out with a few bits that are like, why did I say that?
Yeah.
But no, that is definitely something that's a huge positive at this camp right now. And I know obviously your situation is kind of unique because you're by yourself most of the time.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at like gymnasts in their 20s, especially male gymnasts who wouldn't be in maybe one of the, like you said, the American collegiate programs where there's like a big surrounding of lads the same age, it's fairly rare to have a group of 5 or 6 guys in their late teens to 20s working together.
Very true. Yeah, you're right there.
So we're actually in this really nice situation this week anyway, where we're all obviously have our individual goals, but we're working towards the same one for Team Ireland, and you can really see that sort of drive, giving each other a bit of motivation.
100%.
Yeah, no, I love it.
And even with that bit of competitive atmosphere, I was just talking to Michael about us all competing for them 2 spots on floor. Yeah, it's still like
thank God I'm not in that.
we're all like pushing each other.
Yeah,
there's no like animosity between us.
Definitely.
Like oh, this guy might get the floor spot and he doesn't deserve it. Like we're all kind of there. Like everyone deserves it.
Yeah, I think that's a nice thing that they've done with Team Ireland. Is for a long time it was, you didn't see much of the other parts of the squad. We were always, there were always, people training, like, Michael, who's going to be on, and, Ewan and stuff, who wouldn't have maybe gotten the competitions in the last couple of years, but they were always plodding along, and they were producing really, really good gymnastics in their gyms. Yeah. And now they're able to get together, we're all able to come here as a team, and we're able to showcase it, and we're all, striving for the same thing. We all want to go out there and hit our routines, and we want to make sure that the person after us hits their routines, the person before us hits their routines.
For sure.
Like there's no sort of vindictive competitiveness.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is that competitive, part.
Yeah.
But it's great. I think especially for floor, because you got such a high standard. And,
I know it's great.
And you and Luke were saying like it's weird that we've had like a tradition of being awesome on floor.
Yeah, it's strange.
Like with Kieran and Andy absolutely smashing it and stuff like that, and
we're continuing the tradition for sure.
Yeah, well, you guys are.
Hey, there's still time yet.
I'll do floor, but if you see any training of me this week, you won't be amazed by my floor.
Oh well, we'll be amazed by the ring stuff anyway. But I know you got to shoot now. But quickly, some goals for this year that you want to achieve.
So first goal is to upgrade the rings routine. So the one I did at North Euros would be my most basic one. So I got to upgrade that straight away. Got the new dismount down now. So doing double.
Sweet.
Want to make sure that's like super solid, the end of the routine. Try to get the stick ratio up. So that'll be the first thing, and then the first competitive goal is going to be World Cup final.
Yep.
And I said I don't want to retire without a World Cup medal.
That's the one.
That's what I want. That's my personal goal. Anything that comes with that, if we make European team ranking, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, aim for the European rings final, which would be incredible. But I know where the stepping stones are, and I want my World Cup final, I want my World Cup medal, and that's
I love to hear that. It almost gives me goosebumps hearing that, because not many people say, I want that medal.
Yeah.
And I think it's a bold statement for anybody to do that.
Yeah, it definitely
But
is,
you need to have that in sport.
Yeah, well, it's what I want, and I know what I want, so...
Exactly, go get it, my man.
Gonna claw and fight the last minute of training to get it.
100%, 100%. And I can believe that you can do it, for sure.
Thank you, man.
100%. But I'll let you shoot.
Cheers, dude.
Daniel Fox,
Yeah.
Cork man.
Yeah. Up Cork.
You.
Yeah. Right.
Alright, catch you later, man.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Call in Eamon. Why do you have your head like that? Did you... Eamon Montgomery.
Whoa.
The crazy cat from the north. Welcome, Eamon, to the podcast. People have seen you in previous YouTube videos before, but here's your proper introduction. Eamon Montgomery,
Yeah, baby.
of the age of
19.
19.
I just turned 19.
Just turned 19.
Just turned 19.
19 years old. He's starting off his senior career. Had his first senior competition at the Northern Europeans, right?
Yeah.
Man, you haven't competed much in your career.
The
Obstacles have been in place. you haven't been like the right age for like some junior competitions.
Yeah.
Just out of chance, and then COVID came along, so you were selected for the European Championships in 2020 at the end of that year, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
What do you feel like competing now, especially at Northern Europeans? How did you feel like just competing finally?
Well, like after COVID, it was just good to do anything really.
Yeah.
Like I had British, and I had we done London Open and British, and then there was Northern Euro, so like 3 competitions in a row.
Did you do it that year, in 2021?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
I done British like September time, and then
Right.
there was Northern Euros like the next month or 2 months later. So that was pretty like good space in between competitions.
Yeah.
But before then, I hadn't competed since November 2019. Like 2
That's
years.
just too long,
Yeah.
man. What did you feel like when you were competing again?
See, like because I hadn't done as much competitions as most people. I'm nervous
Yeah.
when I compete.
Yeah. Well, so am I.
Yeah,
It's
but, like,
normal.
This I
just
don't have as
felt
much
that-
experience. It's just different
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
A lot of gymnastics is about that experience, just being comfortable with those nerves. The nerves are always going to be there, but it's just about dealing with them, right?
Yeah.
Not letting them, try not to let them affect your gymnastics. We all know that it happens
Yeah.
at some point in your career, but then after that, you just need to learn from it, you know? But what happened at Northern Europeans?
I went for floor. I
Just went for
went
floor.
for
So
floor.
you're a floor specialist. You pretty much only do floor at the minute.
I'll compete floor at the high level. That'll
Yeah.
be my best piece. So I competed floor. And I had like one of the best difficulties of the day, D scores, and I was looking to have like a final, probably medal potential for it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then my first routine on the first day in, like 4th line in, I was supposed to do a 2.5 double, and then messed up a twist.
Yeah.
I still landed it. I was able to fix it midair for like a.
Yeah, and that's a skill in itself. Like you're very spatially aware when something goes wrong, you can
And
actually
save it.
fix it and save it for you to land on your feet. So
Yeah.
a lot of people would have just freaked out in the air
Land on
and
their back.
land on their back, went for the double twist anyway.
Right on
but
the
you
back.
knew that it wasn't enough just to get you round. So you done a couple less twists in the routine, which put your difficulty down, your
I had a
execution
few
a little bit
bad
down.
landings. I hopped to the floor, but
Yeah.
all in all, like it was just not my best routine.
Yeah, but quite honestly, did you take a lot of inspiration coming back from that competition?
Yeah, I need to learn like who I am when I compete.
Yeah,
And then
for
once
sure.
I learn that, I think I'll be much better. Handling pressure better.
You come down to Dublin and train with me like once a week. You're starting to make that more regular.
Yeah.
This week, obviously, you're down for the senior squad. But since that Northern Europeans, I've seen a bit of a change in your gymnastics. I've seen that on floor you've been more sharp. you've adjusted those errors. I mean, this might be your coach Connor's doing, it might be you're doing. I'm not sure, but something's changed.
It's definitely, I've definitely tuned in more in landings and technique, everything. I'm trying to just make everything completely like automatic.
Yeah.
Like if I can do everything all the time, no matter how I feel.
Yeah, without thinking almost.
What can stop you really?
Yeah, for sure. I think that is about, that helps you immensely in competition, because when you're in competition, you're at your most nervous level, so you want to be able to post a routine that doesn't push your limits too much. You want to be able to do it almost with your eyes closed, right?
Yeah, it should just be put my hand up, get my routine done. I shouldn't even remember what happened in it. It should just be just another routine.
Yeah,
another routine.
That's exactly, I feel like that's what my routines have gotten to the stage of, is, you know, you blast out the routines, you finish at competition, then you're like, oh, it actually just felt like another routine I've done in training, and that's how familiar it should be. But it seems like you're going in the right direction. This squad training this week is the first
one
in
years.
in years, and it's a brand new squad. We've got Michael, who's new to the senior squad. We've got you, and then all of us are just coming together and training. How do you find that training together?
Yeah, it's good. I met Michael. I already knew them really. Michael and Dan. I've known them from before, but no even Europeans there. It was the first time I spoke to them and was a team with them, so it was good. So coming here was fine.
Yeah,
and we know each other and know how we are.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good to just finally train and finally have like more than 2 people in the centre.
For sure.
How big it is.
For sure, and I was saying to Michael that we're all kind of battling it out for them 2 spots in the World Cups.
Yeah,
you're one of those people that are trying to get that floor spot.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. Like, there's 4 of us that are trying to get those 2 spots.
The depth we have for floor is pretty good.
It's really good, and you would much rather have that than just 2 gymnasts to pick from for floor.
Just scraping it even.
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
want to be able to have numbers like that.
But it's like 4 of us that are trying to do our best to get selected, and I feel like there won't be any upset. No. It'll be like if 2 people get selected, the other 2 will be like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't feel like
win,
exactly. That's the exact atmosphere that I'm feeling, and all of us have different routines. All of us kind of have different strengths and different weaknesses. Yeah. But it's just who can piece it together to get the best score possible. Because at the end of the day, that's what gymnastics is: getting the best score possible.
Yeah.
So, are you excited to battle it out with us?
Yeah.
You're ready?
Confident.
You're confident?
Yeah.
Because I heard you say that you think that you're the best floor worker in the country.
Yeah, I believe so.
There we go. There we have it.
I think so.
I feel like you've got the potential to. I feel like you just need to prove it.
Yeah.
And
that's how
you're ready for it.
How to compete.
You just need another opportunity.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But what was I going to say there? I've just had a mind blank. Is there any... Oh, no. What are your goals for this year?
Right. This World Cup. Doha World Cup.
Doha, yeah.
I don't know what other ones. There's another one I want to do. So we have Doha. I want to do Commonwealth.
Yeah, Commonwealth Games. So Eamon is from Northern Ireland too, so he will be aiming for Commonwealth Games just like myself. So you're wanting to get in that Commonwealth Games team.
Yeah, so... There's a World Cup, Commonwealth Games. There's another World Cup, maybe Slovenia, or Copper, I think it is. Europeans.
Yep, European Championships.
Hopefully World Championships at the end of the year. That's a good year, good calendar.
Yeah, for sure. And it is a year that you can take as experience if you do get to those competitions.
It's my first time.
It's not really like you're eyeing up medals, that although you could. The possibilities there. Yeah. It's a year of you gaining that experience, the experience that you haven't quite had in senior.
Yeah.
Because of COVID and because you just haven't got those junior internationals under your belt, even just because of the way things have worked out. No fault of your own. But it's an interesting kind of journey that you've been on. Just if you didn't see the technicalities of the date that you were born on, you would think that you were ducking all of the international competitions, but it just hasn't. It's worked out in a way that you haven't got that experience yet. So this year, hopefully, you go to all of the majors, all of the World Cups, and just see your surroundings and get to know it a bit better.
I just need to figure out my gymnastics probably more than
Yep.
anything else. I think I can do it whatever I want to do, really.
Yeah, 100%, and I'm excited to see what you can bring to the table this year.
Yeah.
I think you can do a lot for the sport. But while you're here, there's another gymnast, Ewan McAteer, who he's practiced. Yeah, he trains with you, so you might be able to have more of an input. But we can't call him in because he's practicing dentistry.
Yeah, he's dentistry.
So he's at uni all week. That's why he could only come for the Monday, and then he had to go back up north for uni. So what Ewan's speciality is vault. I trained with Ewan from when I was no age, from probably when I was 7 years old up until I was 12 or 13, and then I went to train with Luke as my coach. You've been working with Ewan recently more often, obviously, and his speciality is vault. So what are you excited to see from Ewan this year?
I think he has the university box like in a few weeks or next week, I think.
Right, okay.
So I think he's going there to try some big vaults. So I think
so university what?
University championships, I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, right, okay.
Michael's going to them as well.
Really?
And Dave Mortali's gone. So like 3 of them.
I didn't know about that at all.
I didn't even know it was until this year, but
very cool. So he's wanting to blast out a couple of big vaults there.
I think he wants the stress test, like cast triple and double front maybe.
Wow.
Which is pretty
big vaults,
pretty
like big vaults.
What was that, 2 5-2s?
Yeah. It's 2 5-2s, yeah.
It's huge.
So big potential for you and to hit those vaults. If vault is an apparatus that if you hit it, you hit it.
Yeah.
And if you don't,
it's game over.
Yeah. It's the risk factor on vault is just ridiculous.
There's no saving it.
No.
Really, like.
So, if your hand slips on that table and you're going for a handspring double front, which is rotating 3 times round, it's game over. People have seriously hurt themselves on vault. So it's a scary vault. Ewan is a beast of a man. He's a big guy.
He's bigger than everyone.
Yeah, he's a big guy. So you can see that he's just that bull going down the vault, hitting the vault table as hard as he can, and he's such an explosive vaulter, an explosive guy, and he puts the work in, doesn't he?
Yeah. I've never seen someone do as many vaults as that guy in a session. It's crazy. He does like 20 vaults. Like literally.
It's mental. It's really mental. I'm really impressed by the work he's put in, because he almost had like a little bit, because he went to the Commonwealth Games with me in 2018. He was my teammate there. Made all-around final, and then after that he took like a little bit of a sabbatical from gym, didn't he? It was like a couple of months. It wasn't too long.
Yeah.
But it
might have been just like his knees and his wrists and his shoulder, everything just like...
Yeah, he maybe needed it. Yeah, he had the shoulder surgery. That's what it was.
That build-up for Commonwealth probably ruined his body,
yeah,
to be honest.
Maybe. Well, I saw him train on that build-up, and he worked like hell there too, and he actually definitely got a concussion in training one time and really hurt his ankle and stuff, and he still was able to pull out good vaults, but it wasn't the vaults that he was wanting to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's wanting to prove something, and that's it. Yeah, he's back for vengeance. It's a dangerous man when he's wanting to be back for vengeance like that, and he wants to pull off those vaults, especially at Commonwealth Games. He's definitely got the potential if he lands those vaults on his feet to win.
Yeah.
To win, to medal. And that's exciting. I'm excited to see more of him. But yes, Eamon Montgomery, the age of 19 years old. Hi. Anyway, yeah, go call Adam in, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, go get Adam.
I did. Adam!
Oh, Adam!
Oh my
God. You had to make a dramatic entrance, didn't you?
He's here.
Come on, Adam. You're not new to this podcast business.
What's up, folks?
Mr. Adam Steele, at the age of
24.
24, you're getting old, boy.
I'm getting on, boy.
Yeah. So last time we talked, a lot of people are probably familiar with our chat that we had. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch the podcast that me and Adam done. We'll be diving a bit more in depth into things in that one, but this is just another introduction for Adam if you're watching to get introduced to the whole team. You're the last person that I have to introduce.
Well, it's a new year, so it's a new Adam.
Yeah. The last time I saw you, you were having issues with your shoulder. How is that doing?
I was. I'd be wrong to say that the shoulder is healed, but it is on the mend to recovery.
That's good.
We are back doing full apparatus, solid, everything on.
What apparatus are you doing?
Floor, pommel, P-bar, and vault.
Cool.
So yet to do high bar properly. Done some giants, done some swings, and rings is a no-go at the moment.
Yeah.
Physio's orders.
Yeah, it's frustrating watching it. You don't move the camera. It's frustrating.
I'll sit still.
I know you can't. But it's frustrating because high bar's your best piece.
Yes.
And that's like the piece that you're being told by the physios and doctors don't do. And I kind of relate with that, like hanging after my surgery. You didn't get surgery, of course, but you had the same injury, so your labrum is torn.
Yes.
That's what I got repaired in my surgery, and the last thing they allowed me to do was hang. So it just must be a really compromising position, probably where the injury developed. Let's be honest, is on high bar when us gymnasts are hyperextending like nuts.
There's so much stress going through your body.
Yeah.
It is bound to happen for us.
Yeah, for sure. And we're during a senior squad, squad training that we haven't had for years. We've been saying to the other guys that like it's a first for many of us just being with a squad. So how are you finding this week so far?
Well, like you say, this is the first senior squad. I've been looking forward to this the day that I found out we're doing a senior squad, and this week it's been tough, but it's been the most exciting and most productive training I've done probably since Euros, about 6 months. But my God, it is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so much more driven. We've got not just us as a team, we're going against each other almost at the same senses. All of us want to do floor. Yeah. So it's pushing all of us, and
yeah, we've touched on that for sure.
We're very good on floor. So.
I know. We've touched on that we're all battling it out for those two spots, and it's like there's no animosity between us all. We're just if those two people get selected, whoever it is, I feel like the two people that don't get selected will be like fair enough.
Yeah.
It
does come down to who hits the score.
Who gets the highest score possible. That's gymnastics. And I feel like you're somebody who feeds off that team atmosphere a lot.
I really do.
You love that, like getting spurred on. I've seen it time and time again. You love it in competition, you love it in training, so you must get a lot from these squad trainings.
I really do. You'll probably like look back at some of your videos. If I'm there, I'm screaming.
Yeah, you're definitely
it's
screaming.
Very hard to shut me up. I'm the type of person that will voice anything that I want to say.
Yeah.
So having everyone here and training around everyone and everyone encouraging me, encouraging them, it's a big confidence boost as well. So I'm trying harder, just knowing that there's more people watching me and different people watching me. So me and you, we train a lot together anyway.
Yeah.
So that just that's all comfortable. But having like Eamon, Michael, Dan, even you in here the other day, it was really different to have, and it was really nice to almost have that little bit of an extra kick, which it shouldn't be like that, but it is.
Just is. Whatever chemical gets released in your brain with people cheering you on and having that team atmosphere, it's so beneficial to gymnastics. It makes you want to just push that little bit more in training.
Sure.
And as much as you like to think like you can train by yourself, I fall into this trap where I feel like I can just train by myself. I don't need anybody supporting me or cheering me on. Like as much as I like to think I train like better by myself, I don't think I do really. I feel like when there's people there supporting me and I feel like a team, then I just have that little bit of extra energy. Yeah,
and if for you especially, it's not something you're really used to because you've done God knows how many years now of literally training by yourself. So for you, it must be quite different to have even the atmosphere in the gym of training with other people as well.
Yeah, I was saying to the other guys there that I feel a huge difference, and I'm taking advantage of this because I mean at the end of the day it's only 1 week, and I know we're going to try and make these squads more regular. It is only 1 week, so I need to salvage as much as I can from this. What can I not get training by myself that I could get this week, and then I'll make the most of it while it's there. So yeah, I'm loving the squad training. I know you're really enjoying it as well. Your gymnastics is looking amazing.
It's
looking great.
Good to be back doing what I love.
Yeah, you're sharp. You're looking really sharp. Your doubles on floor. Your landings on floor. Everything's just really sharp.
So.
It's really cool to see. It's beautiful gymnastics you're showing. But on that note, what goals do you have for 2022?
European team is my goal for this year. European team. I think we have a possibility to do that. That's not personally my goal. Yeah. Because obviously that's all of us collectively.
Okay.
There is no European all-round final.
Is there not? No.
No, team year.
Okay, so team and apparatus.
So we're gonna work our butt off, get completely fit, and then attack the worlds as hard as we can.
Okay.
Cool. I don't feel like world all-round final is impossible.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, it's definitely not. Well, you made history for Ireland by becoming Ireland's first European finalist, and then it was just unfortunate with that shoulder injury. I feel like you could have had a streak there. You could have had that streak of getting European final and then world final, and it was within your score range easily.
Yeah, for sure. I think what was a low 79 hit an all-round final.
Yeah.
At Worlds, and for Worlds that's a low standard.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a standard I can hit.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And even in a higher standards, and I'm saying it wasn't too much of a low standard at Worlds. Sure, it wasn't.
But there was a lot of names that just weren't there.
Yeah.
But still, there are gymnasts coming up from every country.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like if anything, that highlighted the gymnasts that were coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
That World Championships in itself, it put a lot of new names on the map, and probably gave a lot of those names, those younger guys, that little bit of boost that they needed. If
imagine going to your first World Championships and making an all-round final.
Yeah, that would hype you up.
My ego.
Yeah, no, that would hype you up for sure.
I wouldn't have been able to compete in the final. I'd be too tired. You saw me in the all-round final at Euros. I was so tired because I was up there all night. Laying in bed just like, I'm in final tomorrow. I should really go to sleep. I'm in final tomorrow.
Yeah. But Emma Slavin made the all-around final. She set the standard
amazing.
there.
I don't know anything about women's gymnastics really. Although floor and vault is the same, bar's a little bit the same.
Yeah.
But I've seen her climb very slowly, and last year, actually even prior to Olympics, she was there.
Yeah,
she was
there.
wow, Emma just absolutely smashing it and killing it. And that motivates me as well. Because she's quite young still, isn't she?
Yeah.
And that's such a big boost for Ireland as well. It's not just
definitely.
the men doing really well, the women are coming up.
I know.
Chasing everyone.
I feel like that was one of my favourite moments of this year, was seeing Emma perform at Worlds. I went there and seen her all-around final, and her going around side by side with the Irish leotard on next to the USA woman, the Russians.
Going against some legends.
Yeah, she was there, but she was in and amongst that group and really looking good out there.
Yeah.
And it made me very proud to kind of be sitting there cheering her on. Really? I made sure I was the loudest voice in that arena. It was a very quiet Japanese audience. I made sure that I was the loud Irishman cheering.
You needed to be there.
Yeah. But yeah, and one of my favourite moments of that entire Japan trip was seeing her beam routine. She just nailed every land in. It was the last apparatus, so she was like, right, I really want to make this good. But it was spectacular. It was beautiful gymnastics from an Irish gymnast at an all-round final at World Championships. And that's incredible. It's really cool to see. But yeah, you've got some big goals ahead of you. Have you got any medals in your sights that you want to grab?
I do want to snag a World Cup medal.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like that is my realistic goal for this year. But I don't want to do it at a challenge. I do love the challenges, and I think they're really good. I would like to hit a World Cup medal at an event where you've got everyone there.
Yeah, and it's definitely possible. I've seen some of your floor scores and some of your floor routines. One in particular stands out to me. One of the ones that you've done in training where you stuck every landing. I saw that. I was like, wait, he could win a major medal with that routine.
I need to console myself and calm myself sometimes.
Yeah.
If I'm in the gym training, I'm not focused on what everyone else is seeing. I'm focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're out on a stage, all those people are watching you. So in the back of my mind, as much as I'm doing it for myself, everyone's watching me. So the nerves take over, the excitement takes over, the adrenaline run takes over. So I need to find a way to control that.
But then again, there's something very special about your gymnastics where you like to show off. You like to lift your head that little bit higher on a landing. You like to make sure that you stick landings, and it's that little bit of confidence that I admire. And actually, last week when Eamon was down training with me, I said, "Come here over, Eamon." Got out a video of your floor routine at Worlds 2019. I said, "This is Adam Steele, Irish gymnast on floor at 2019 Worlds. He's got something that you do not have." And I played the video, saw you step in the floor, raise your arms, chin up. I was like, there.
Yeah.
That's what you don't have. And this is what Adam, I feel, makes his floor routine, makes his gymnastics. You step in that little bit prouder, that little bit more confident. And I don't know what it is. It just makes gymnastics more beautiful to watch.
You're making me blush, man.
It makes gymnastics more beautiful to watch, and that's what I always feel when you step on a competition floor. And I've taken a lot from that as well, where you just see your aura when you're in competition, and you can admire that.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
No problem. But I said it to Eamon. I said it to Eamon, and I said that he can take a lot from that, and I feel like he has. He's got it in the back of his head. He's mentioned it to me a couple of times, and I feel like that's the benefit of this squad training as well. Is we're all learning from each other in those different ways.
Yeah.
And taking benefits and growing this team to a new standard that Ireland have never hit before.
It would be good to not just be Reese, the greatest pommel worker in the world, and Adam Steele, the first Irishman to make an all-round final. It would be good to be like Ireland as a whole.
We were part of that team.
We are the first team.
Yeah, and you see it time and time again with some of them greats like Kohei Chimura, Nikita Nagorny. Like they all have accomplished their individual goals, and then they're like, right, I want this
You're so
team
right.
goal.
You're so right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but it's demonstrated with those really amazing gymnasts like those two guys. So you can see where we're getting it from right now, where we're like, right, we actually want the team to progress now.
Yeah.
But we'll continue our individual paths, and alongside, I feel like the team will follow after that.
Oh, 100%. Your goal is you. The goal is you, but like I said, this year isn't an all-round year. So I'm not focused on myself so much. I'm focused on what I can bring to the team. Is what's it's funny how you should say how, like, when I step into the floor, it's because I'm loving every moment of being there. Never in my life before I turned 18 years old I never thought I'd be there. Never. I was so close to retiring and before I turned Irish. And
really? Yeah.
So it's just, it wasn't going anywhere. It was so difficult.
A similar thing, Dan was talking about a similar thing. Just like the lack of purpose of doing gymnastics, but then Dan was like, right, well, I may as well aim for Northern Euros now then.
Yeah.
It seems like you're describing the same thing, where it seems like you need a goal to pursue something.
100%. With gymnastics, it's so hard because there's so many little spots to go for, especially in like a team. There's 5 people, and think about the amount of people that do, because obviously I've been brought up in Britain, so that was my whole background was, I'll try and get the British team, whatever. And it was never a realistic goal for me. So the second Ireland became real for me, with my dad obviously being Irish and all that, and I was like, they threw me in the deep end. They're like, right, we're putting you in Europeans 2016. I was like, what? Never done this before, never met anyone, never done a competition like that, and that is what's brought me up here. I'm like, wow, I don't want to do this because I have a chance to go around the world. I'm not doing that to do that. I'm doing it because I love gymnastics.
Yeah,
I love showing my gymnastics.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good reason to be doing it for sure. Because I also love gymnastics very much. So
it shows, doesn't it? Look at the pictures around. Man. You're not putting the pictures up because you won that. You're not putting it because you won that. You're doing it because you're proud of who you are and what you've accomplished. Yeah,
for people watching and listening, there's pictures of me around this room.
Oh.
Not for egotistical reasons. Not for egotistical reasons.
But that's the motivation for us as well.
Yeah.
We're walking into this GI house and we see pictures of Reese winning medals and showing how amazing he is on pommel. That's our teammate. That's what we aspire to be. As much as you're younger than me, You are fucking my inspiration to get there. Excuse my language. You are my inspiration to get there.
Yeah, awesome.
It's
I'm glad.
realistic, it's possible, and it's happened. It's happening.
Sure. Yeah.
And you're not even peaked yet.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming for Irish gymnastics, as we've mentioned, on the women's side, on the men's side. It's a good time to be alive, right?
It's a great time to be alive.
Awesome. And on that note, I think I can wrap up the podcast there.
I love a podcast.
You love a good podcast. Anyway, Adam, thank you for coming on, and thank you everybody for tuning in. It has been great to introduce everybody to the Irish team, and I'm looking forward to the next podcast. I'm looking forward to this entire year of me updating you all through the vlogs, through the different podcasts that I'll do, and different content that I'll upload. So thank you so much for tuning in, and peace out.
See you later, guys.
Bye.